And then next thing you know, Chuck flicks on his living room light because he's got the adjacent apartment that's a little kitty corner, and he's just standing there. Look at me do the helicopter, you know? I mean...
It's the Scott and Allie Not For Air podcast. The rules are gone. The shirt is untucked. Here's Scott and Allie.
Hola.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. It's the Scott and Allie Not For Air podcast. This is not a venting.
Oh, God.
No, it's...
It always starts like that. I'm not complaining, but I'm complaining.
It's not. It's a question.
Okay.
So... Okay, this is going to get mildly personal. You have the ability to go to the ladies' room and do a number 2 faster than you can pee. I've never seen anything like it. I mean,
it's a gift.
It is. It really is a gift. And I will tell you, I am a person that when I go in the bathroom to do more than number 1, I don't really feel like being there long. You know what I mean? Like
no.
I'm not forcing, but I'm not like, I mean, I think I have life FOMO. I'm like, I don't need to be in here that long. And then yet we have a colleague that works with us. And this is not the same as a former colleague from years ago that used to go hide in the men's room to drop a number 2 and
are you talking about Chris?
Yeah. And exceedingly take 40 minutes just for the sake of saying that's time off his day. So the colleague I'm referring to, I don't believe that's what it is. It's not as though he's just looking for an escape. But my God, I gotta pee, and we have a rule in this building. There's a urinal and there's a stall. And if there's someone in the stall and you see the feet underneath and you know what's going on, you don't stick around. You don't even pee. You just wait.
If someone's at the urinal, then same thing. You probably turn around and walk out. Or do you go in the stall and pee?
Yeah, you go in the stall and pee. Honestly, the pee thing is a little bit, it's a little more acceptable to be like, oh, I'll go pee over here.
Interesting.
And then you make the joke, man, this water's deep.
You could always pee up at the front, too.
No, I don't like that either because I don't want anybody to hear me doing my business.
Oh, my gosh.
But I don't get it because I know this individual is not trying to waste time that they're working. No. This is not a time waster person. But man, I was never trained to take a long sitting. I'm like, I'm not a forcer, but I'm not one of these people that's just like, well, I'm going to be that person that takes 20 minutes to escape from everything just to sit in the can.
Or scroll on the phone.
No, I can scroll on the phone somewhere else.
I think the problem is he doesn't drink enough water. Maybe he doesn't get enough veggies.
You think that's what it is?
Maybe it's a situation.
And instead of pushing, he's just waiting for gravity?
I guess, but I mean, I go when I know. That's what I do.
I got it.
And then that's it. That's all that needs to happen. I don't need to have a party in there. I don't need to hang around.
I do not need to sit around in there.
Don't need to scroll on my phone.
Nope.
I'm in, I'm out, and there we go.
Well, So
basically what you're saying is that your eyes are just about yellow.
Yeah, when they turn yellow, this podcast ends because that means I'm full.
Okay, well then let's go. Let's rock and roll.
All right.
All right, first one it's the update from last week's podcast.
Okay.
We had talked about the fantasy football league guy who didn't get his money. And I said, what should the solution be on getting your money from the quote unquote accountant of the fantasy football group? And, you had said something along the lines of, maybe wait till after the Super Bowl. Maybe that's when the money will come. And I had said, you need to tell them, make up some excuse, just lie. Yeah. And while you're at it, say my Venmo, in case you forgot.
I love this part.
My Venmo is at Allie Payne, or my PayPal is at Allie Payne.
I think I also said, if I remember correctly, that along with it's possible that they could be waiting till after the Super Bowl to do the payout. I think also the thought was send a pretty direct message about it. Don't come up with an excuse.
That's what you said.
Yeah, because I'm like, no, you don't need to make up like, oh, I got to go buy baby formula. I have no cash on me. Do you know when the money's coming? Mm-hmm. You're just you're adding crap to this. The reality in my mind was just being direct. You knew getting into the fantasy football, and if this person was the banker for this, you knew you were paying in. Someone was going to get paid out.
Do you remember what I said? They had a medical emergency that happened that put them in a hospital situation for, I think, like a month.
And if that affected them, they should say and be very direct, I apologize. I had to shift some things around. Is it okay if I send it next week? I mean, it's going to have to be okay because that's when it's going to be.
Hard to say. But here's the update. So this person texted the accountant and for the group, and they actually took my advice and gave a little bit of an excuse. And it wasn't a lie. It was just, hey, I have this coming up. So can I get that money? And even included, my PayPal is.
No, that's good.
And do you know what they responded with?
No.
They're like, oh my gosh, we'll pay you right away. We didn't think you had a PayPal or a Venmo or anything like that. We didn't know you had that payment option. We were going to give you the money the next time we physically saw you.
Bullshit.
Yeah?
Bullshit.
Okay.
Here's why.
I'm listening.
First of all, it's easy to go, who doesn't have, not everybody uses Venmo. I know that's your transfer of choice, but who doesn't have a PayPal, a Venmo, a Cash App, a Zelle, anything? Okay, in 2026, unless you are
my grandma,
right? Okay, maybe your
She's
parents.
dead.
Your parents, I bet, have a PayPal.
My dad has a Venmo. My mom, I think my mom has PayPal.
Okay.
But my dad, anytime we need to transfer money, it goes through my dad. And my mom always goes, your dad will give me the money.
Fair enough. Somebody's got it. And
Yeah.
here's where I really call bullshit. Because the person that was the treasurer of this could have reached out first saying, hey, got your winnings ready. How would you like it? We were going to wait till we saw you again.
Yeah.
My ass.
Now that you say it, you're probably right.
That's exactly what it is.
But you know what? They got their money.
Well, they did.
And that's the important thing.
But next year for the season, if it turns out it's the same group and that same person is going to be a treasurer, they need to have a conversation at the very beginning of the season. When's the payout? And should the winner contact you as a reminder? Well, you've got to set some ground rules up front now.
Yes,
because that is bull crap.
I got something. Yeah. I think either one of two things should happen. That person should not be the treasurer again.
Maybe.
Or that when you submit for your fantasy football league, everyone also submits what their Venmo or PayPal is.
Fair enough.
And at the beginning, there's no question. And there should be, because like I said in the last podcast, and I'll just say this again, whenever I've done Super Bowl squares or fantasy football, I've gotten paid the next day in my Venmo. And I think that there needs to be just like a one-sheeter, some rules.
Yes, some rules.
The rules are as follows. And you will be paid the Monday following your win or whatever it is. And if, let's say the treasurer does this again, then I think that this person who did not get their $500 right away, they should come back and say, yeah, that's fine, but let's make some addendums. And that's when they add those addendums in.
And by the way, the making the excuse really is only a softening of the news for you to feel better. Because I will tell you, if I'm the treasurer and I'm a little bit on the I'm going to wait till I see you side, which is me going, maybe they'll forget. I mean, seriously, that's what this person was thinking.
$500.
Doesn't matter. They'll be like, oh, maybe they'll forget. Life's busy. Maybe they'll move on. Here's the thing about it.
Feel good about
you using an excuse is only so you feel better about asking for your money. I still stick with the fact they had every right to go back and just go, hey, since I'm the winner, when can I expect the payout?
Yes, because like we said in the last podcast, it's still business.
Yeah, and it's no excuses. That's only to make you feel better. I mean, if you feel better coming up with something.
Well, I would feel better because of the medical situation. That's the only reason. I know, but that's the only reason that I was like, well, I guess you should probably come up with something. Because then you don't want to seem like a cold-hearted biatch.
No, you're cold-hearted if the person's medical situation turned into them dying. And then you're asking other people in the fantasy football, how do we get our money from Josh? Because Josh is dead now. That's lack of heart.
That would really suck.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine if you didn't get $500 because your treasurer died?
Yeah, well, I'm sure it could happen.
Oh man! All right, well that's.
I mean, at that point, you got to walk away. At that point, don't ask for the $500.
Right, get a new fantasy football team.
Well, you have no choice. The treasurer croaked. Jesus.
Okay, I've got a bunch of questions for you.
Okay.
And
then I have a scenario I want to get your opinion on.
All right, then I'll just do 2 or 3.
All right.
Okay. And I'll answer these for you. You answer these for me. If I disappeared for the next 24 hours, where is the first place you would look for me?
For the next 24 hours?
If I disappeared for the next 24 hours, where is the first place you would look for me?
I think I would go to your house first.
Really?
Well,
I'm not somebody who's home a lot, though.
But that would be the first place that I'd start.
Okay.
And then I'd have to let Junior out to take a shit. But that would be,
I was going to say your house, too, because you don't leave your house very often.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah.
If it was the summertime, I would say the soccer field.
Yeah,
like,
that's it. Spring and fall. There you go.
Right. Did he croak in the porta potty?
Just come to 352. You'll see the fields and you'll find me.
Other than that, there is no place that you personally would be except for work and home. Where I was thinking, like, I'm going to go hiking on Sunday. Although I don't go
that's
hiking.
a lot of work. If I got to start hiking up to Cannock to try to find your body rotting in the bushes next to the field, jeez.
We're good here.
I'll wait for you to pop up in the news.
Okay. Wow. Another hiker's going to find me. And then you know how they're going to identify me? My red lipstick.
Yeah, sure.
If we swapped lives for a day, what's the first thing you would struggle with? And ain't these titties?
Jesus. Probably. I'm thinking one of two answers. Either trying to keep things on time. Well, I don't mean it mean. It's just.
This is the truth.
You're loose on time. You're not mean. You're not
Says
being.
the woman who was here before 5 a.m. this morning.
Okay, pat on your back for that one. But I'm saying if you got to be somewhere at noon, you leave at 12:20.
Which is why I didn't go to the hike and the movie last week, is because I was running so late.
Yeah, it became Monday. I think that might be one of them. I really don't have.
Does it stress you out that much to be late?
Okay, so for me, yes, because I have very specific times. I have to get Gavin from school at the time he's let out. I have to be home to get Lydia off the bus at the time that the bus arrives. So there are certain things that.
Imagine doing it in my body, and you're running 5 minutes late for every single one of these things.
No, that would be the biggest struggle. I think would be that I could say maybe juggling the social life, but this is only for a day that we're swapping bodies.
But still, I could see this would be the first thing that you would absolutely struggle with.
I'd be like, and don't get me wrong. Let me give credit where credit is due. Usually, what makes Allie late is she's diligently working to try to finish the project so that it's not just hanging undone out there. I understand.
Yeah.
You are not normally late.
It's
from
not
leaving from here, I can't speak for your home life because I don't know what you get into at home. But, you got to be emceeing a ball on Saturday night. If I were you, I'd be up at 6 a.m. starting to get ready by 10 so you can be out the door by 3 in the afternoon just because you don't want to be late for something like that.
I won't be late for that because there's just a lot of pressure. That's one of those pressure things that I won't let myself be late.
If we switched bodies, there's pressure to get Gavin on time and Lydia off the bus on time.
And for some reason, I would always be late for that. I guarantee you, I would constantly. And
they'll take Lydia back to the bus garage. That's embarrassing when the kid has to be picked up by the parent at a bus garage.
Are you serious?
Never have I had that happen, but because I'm relatively on time with that.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Then they start calling you, and then you got to come up with excuses, Allie. You're like, my radiator belt blew off.
If I was Lydia, I'd be so mad because that reminds me of the time that my parents didn't show up from some sort of choir concert I had, and I was waiting at. It was kind of like a kindergarten event center, and I was waiting at the building, and my parents never showed up. I also, and I've told the story before, my teachers left, so here I am sitting there on the sidewalk waiting for Mark and Gail. Actually, Gail waiting for Gail. And for her to show up, I don't know, like a half hour, 45 minutes later. And I was the only kid at the building.
Wow.
First of all, different times. No teacher would ever do that. But I was angry. I was still like, when I think about it, I remember how angry I was. So if I was Lydia in that situation, I would be angry.
Now, that was also the same one that your mom was too busy to actually make it to your performance, correct? Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't hold a grudge at all.
No, not at all.
If I had a fan club and
you didn't answer for me.
Oh, okay. What would I struggle with? To be honest with you, my life is not chaotic, and yours seems it. And I don't like
Mine's
it.
just busy.
I like being busy. Yours seems chaotic.
It's just to me, it's busy. I mean,
like 9 dogs, cleaning up after 9 dogs is such an inconvenience to me. That's the first thing I struggle.
All right, that's
which
an
is
inconvenience
weird.
to me too.
I love animals, but that is utter chaos that I just cannot. I would.
I was thinking more of that, along with making sure the kids are fed, homeworks are done.
No,
I'm running laundry through at the same time.
No. That stuff is fine for me because I like multitasking, and I also find myself very nurturing. I think that like I've been cooking a lot, and I think that when there's somebody else in my life, whether it was a kid like Lydia or Gavin, that's where like the nurturing would kick in. So no, I don't have an issue with whatsoever. It's the chaos of the animals that's the first thing I would struggle with. I just couldn't handle that chaos, and I would have to get that out of my life. Anyway.
Well, you only have to do it for a day.
Thank God. Okay, if I had a fan club, what would they call themselves?
The Painiacs.
Oh my God, I love that one.
Thank you.
You know what I was thinking for you?
What?
The Free Daddies.
The Free Daddies.
I love Daddy as a nickname or anything.
The Free
So
Daddies.
the Free Daddies is absolute. If I could be a Free Daddy, and I'm the president of the Free Daddies.
Yeah, just for a day.
Yes.
That was the last question.
And then every single person who gets the gift bag gets a bald cap,
I love it.
a signed picture of you,
Yes.
a Star Trek.
One of the deltas, the logos right here. Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
they can look just like you.
I love it.
All right, those are the questions I have.
Oh,
for
those
now.
are the ones? All
Yeah,
right.
I had more, but I know you said you had a scenario, so
Well,
I wanted
did.
to leave time for you.
Well, here's what. Okay, this is actually happening in California right now.
Okay.
And so you have to realize this could happen in a neighborhood, but it's happening at an apartment building. So I've just sort of given you the background on that. That this apartment complex is dealing with a resident who is naked with the blinds open.
This is me.
Oh, well.
This is me all the time.
So,
and I'm literally always running in my living room.
okay. If I got to swap bodies with you for 24 hours, first thing I need to do is find clothing. But anyway, residents of this apartment complex in California have had enough of their naked neighbor, but they have to deal with it. See, neighbors say that the Sherman Oaks man constantly leaves his blinds open while standing in the nude. Now,
I applaud this man. He's comfortable with himself.
The man whose bedroom is just feet away from the neighbor's window is also accused of performing some explicit acts.
Oh,
I know.
Okay, that's different.
That part, take that part out. And in view of the other resident. Now, the resident, Michelle McClintock, told the TV station there that she recorded him and called the police, except she was on hold so long, she ended up giving up. So she took it to the apartment complex managers. They've not done anything about it either. And McClintock also has stuck a large note on the window pleading with the man to please close his blinds. His response is, close yours.
This reminds me of the old Austin Powers movie. Remember when Austin Powers, I think he was sleeping with Beyonce. Was this Goldeneye? And,
I think it was.
And he was naked in the bedroom. And every time they would turn, like if it was the side of Austin Powers where it would be his wang hanging out, and all of a sudden it would be Beyonce taking a bite of a breakfast sausage. Do you remember this? That's what I picture. I picture this guy just turning sideways, and all of a sudden, like the like a lampshade or something is like covering up his butt, and then he turns the other way, and then all of a sudden he's like holding a plate in front of his wang, but it's like he's just holding the plate for dinner. I don't know what I would do. Okay. Yes, I do. If I had a neighbor who was always naked, I'd be looking all the time.
Would you?
Even if I'm not attracted to them. Just
Would
to be
you?
like, yeah, I'd just be like, this is a show. This is a dang show.
But it's a show for a little while, and the first time you bring all your girlfriends over and be like, oh, you've got to see this.
Yes.
I was going to say, up until the point where the guy was doing some explicit acts.
Yes.
I mean, it's convenient you're already naked, but up until that point, because obviously he's an exhibitionist in that area, in the area of being like, I'm going to have you watch me, do this.
Voyeurism.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And, because
that's disgusting.
Here's the problem with the naked thing. And this could go for an apartment complex and for a house. Even if you live across the street, and let's say you have kids, and there's the naked person on across the street, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure with it being an apartment, but technically, isn't that your property at that point? Well, the apartment technically is owned by someone else, but...
So let's take it my neighborhood, right?
Okay.
Their houses, people own them. It's always just, I think, great conversation. And I just want to know what you're doing naked. I've talked about me cleaning naked, but what are you doing naked?
Some people just like the freeing feeling of it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know?
And
Okay.
I want to see this guy, like, all of a sudden his balls get stuck in between his legs and, like, he's slightly uncomfortable. I just want to see the rawness of it.
But doesn't that run out? Don't you get to a point where
Yeah.
you're just like, wow. See,
It runs out, but
there's Chuck again in the buff.
It runs out, but I still don't care. Like, go ahead, do whatever you want. Don't care.
Not at all. Literally 360 because he takes a vacation once a year to a nudist colony. So 360 days a year, he's buck naked, and it doesn't faze you at all.
No, does it faze you?
Here's where it would. I think in the beginning it would be funny, and mind
I
you,
would invite all of my friends over.
yes,
too.
you would. Now, mind you, I am not including something in this scenario deliberately. I am not including the fact that my house has kids and they would see
Right.
this too. I don't want that aspect of the conversation coming in because
No, I'm
to
just
me
asking about you.
Well, that immediately changes things when that
Right.
happens. When there's kids involved, it immediately changes things. I'm not saying that anyone should be ashamed of their body or anything else like that, but you do get to a point where it's like, what do they need to see and for how long? I mean, if they accidentally catch a glimpse of something, or like in a movie, there's a random boob by accident. To me, those are rites of passage that happen over time.
Absolutely.
You've got Naked Chuck, who is daily 360 days a year, and say for a good 5 hours, and then, maybe the lights go on and he continues. It gets to be a lot. So I don't want to bring kids into this scenario. Let's just say I'm living in the apartment complex. The other person's living in the apartment complex. We get to see it. There's no kids, whatever. I think that after a while, I would go to the management and I would say, is there no way you can update? Because don't apartments have a relative set of rules? Like if you're a landlord, you can set rules of things like no pets,
Sure.
and whatever. Isn't there at some point you can go, you have to look out for other people that are there because you're very free and open about it. There's going to be a lot of people. I think you are in the minority.
1,000% am in the minority. But I don't
know what you can do except
don't know.
hope they'll respond.
Why does everyone care? I don't see why
It's
you
not
care.
always that you care. It's sometimes, all right, here's a great example. I have, and let's say these are nice, really nice enough apartments where you're in a situation. I mean, this is your home,
Yep.
and you've decided, you've got a, owner in from out of town, and you've said, you know what? I got a great idea. Why don't you plan to bring the group over to the house? We'll have cocktails and I'll make a meatloaf for dinner, whatever. Or
course.
I'll do something. I'm
Going real fancy.
Yeah, right. No, but let's say you were going to have a nice get together. And, next thing you know, here comes 6 people through the door and you've got a beautifully decorated apartment. It's a really nice space and everyone's ready to settle in and have some laughs. And
And our owner, Kristen, goes, oh my. And I'll know exactly why she's oh mying. Oh my.
Because it's not so, it would probably for me get a little annoying from time to time. Like, I'm like, all right, Chuck, at some point, can you find a robe?
Yeah, right.
Because, the first few times and the first 3 times that you invite all your different groups of girlfriends over to see this, it's entertaining. The entertaining aspect for you is going to wear out. So
But
how do you fix it?
I think it just wears out in general. So even if he's naked, it's like, there's naked Chuck. The only 2 scenarios that I think would make me really awkward, I was thinking if my mom and dad came over.
There you go. And it could happen.
And if my pastor came over.
Yeah, hallelujah.
I think other than that, Chuck's wang would be wallpaper to me.
You mean it would just block out of your mind?
Yeah, I would get so used to it.
I'd get irritated after some point. I'd be like, geez.
It's kind of like, when people walk by the Statue of David every single day, maybe they're on their way to work and they're walking past the Statue of David with his wang out. I think eventually you're just like, whatever.
I don't know. It feels different with a statue. I was not meant to use those choice of words because now it feels like I'm feeling the statue of David's Wang. But no, I think it feels different with that. Art versus, I understand what you're saying. I just, at some point, enough is enough. You know, it's like whether you're trying to be a creeper or you're just a person that likes to be naked, and there are those people. Enough is enough.
I think I'm with Chuck, and it's like, well, then don't look over here. Yeah, although in the nighttime, I've noticed this because you can see in my house in the nighttime if I have my windows open, you can see right into my house. So if I was naked on the couch, all my neighbors would know, especially because the way my house is, it's like a hill situation and I'm on the lower end. So I have neighbors who look down into my house. My neighbor across the street, he probably can see literally everything.
So then think about this. What if it's a situation?
And I think he's a sheriff, so I'm sorry for my nakedness.
Okay. Well, again, being your own home, I do feel that it is 1,000% your property to do with as you please, minus the fact that there aren't there certain levels of just pure lewd activities that could get you in some trouble?
You know, hold on, let me Google this.
And the reason I say that is like if you're standing doing, you know, something you would normally do by yourself, and you're doing it because you want to show the world that you can, you know, make a Kentucky snowstorm. I mean, God, look that up under Urban Dictionary. That's, to me, seems like it's beyond just, I like the freeing feeling and it's my property and I'll be naked. But the apartment thing has a different level.
It does. Yeah, I think it does too.
And think about this. What if the apartments, all right, let's say
I got your answer.
Okay, first give me the answer, then I'll finish my my thought on how this would bother me with my apartment if it was this, and because I have to tell you where the apartment is. So what is the answer?
According to penal law.
Of course it's the penal law because that's what's hanging out.
245. In New York, being naked in your home with the blinds up can lead to legal issues, specifically public lewdness. If you're readily,
are you hearing this, Allie?
I am. If you are readily observable from a public place like the street or another private residence with the intent to be seen, though simple nudity itself isn't automatically illegal, it's the intent to be seen by others that creates the potential crime. So using curtains or blinds is a good idea. You can also be charged with...
It's a good idea.
You can also be charged with the exposure of a person too. A violation for appearing in a public place unclothed, but this typically applies more directly to public spaces, not just your home.
Okay,
but it's about the intent.
Okay, so in your case, if you were running from the bathroom to your bedroom and you're like, oh, you know,
the intent is not there.
Right, no big deal. If you are laying upside down on your couch with your legs in the air,
doing my yoga,
that's what you're doing. Then, see, there's your answer. Be careful. Now, imagine said apartment I was talking about. Let's say I had an apartment that overlooked beautiful Seneca Lake, and I wanted that view.
Yes.
Okay, that's the view I wanted, especially when I've got some colleagues coming over, not just friends that are going to giggle and chuckle for a couple hours at Chuck, but I've got colleagues coming over, and I'm like, you guys have to come see the beautiful view of the apartment. We'll sit out on my enormous outdoor patio because it's summertime now, and we'll have a couple drinks, and we'll talk about some upcoming plans in the company. And here they all come in, and we're having this nice get together because we wanted it to not be. You wanted it to be a little bit more relaxed. And then next thing you know, Chuck flicks on his living room light because he's got the adjacent apartment that's a little kitty corner, and he's just standing there. Look at me do the helicopter. I mean, I'd be very put off by that point because you are invading my own time, space, personal spot.
And I think it's funny because as we're all listening to what you're saying, and I'm talking about every listener, we're all picturing that one person that we would be so embarrassed. You had mentioned the work people that were coming over.
Sure.
I had said our owner, but then I thought of another work person who, I mean, you guys all don't know this person, but I was thinking of a coworker we have named JC. He's in management. He's a very private person. And yes, that would be extremely embarrassing.
I would feel awkward. He might laugh. I would feel so awkward.
1,000%. So now we know that Chuck could potentially go to the slammer for this.
Okay, now that's here in New York that's happening.
I bet you in most states.
Yeah, I do feel, though, and I think the final solution for that woman, she's got to get a hold of management to say, well, first of all, she should Google whatever the rules and laws are in that state.
And what sucks is you have to hire a lawyer for something that Chuck's doing.
No, I think what you would do if, let's pretend the same law applies in California that it does here in New York about the intent to, show your Franks and beans to the world. Like, there's a difference running across the room because, whoops, forgot to shut the blinds and my towel just fell.
Right.
Versus, I'm really hanging out with it or doing something. Let's say the same laws applied in California. You could print it off. You don't need a lawyer, and then take it to the management of the apartment and say, okay, you got to do something here.
Yep.
Because I want you.
And I hope you do.
You deserve your freedoms, but at the same time, too, doesn't freedom come with a certain respect for other people?
Yes, I do think so. And I just thought I was giving you a gift.
Well. Oh, that's something.
No, you're absolutely right. And you just hope the landlord will do something about it, because not all landlords are great. You're thinking of like respectable landlords.
Well, I'm thinking more of a business that, if you're a landlord that you own two houses on top of your own house, I could see where it's easier to let things slide and be a little bit more lazy. I'm not saying they all are, but if you own complexes, or there are actual management companies that run these, some way, somehow you can get a hold of somebody.
Yes.
If it's, a 5-6 unit location that overlooks the lake that, was built for that purpose, that there's a management company out there.
Oh, I know.
But that's how you do it. You print off the rules and you're like, y'all got to do something.
You better do something before I do something.
Because I don't want to move. I wanted that view.
Exactly. I wanted
not that view. I wanted the lake view.
Yeah,
the lake,
yeah.
The lake,
Yeah. The lake, not what's between his legs.
Oh God, no.
Gotcha. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, for the next podcast, here's your little teaser. If we were in a zombie apocalypse, would I be the group leader, the comic relief, or the one that screams first?
Comic relief, and you'd be dead. And tell me if I'm right next podcast.
Okay.
Well, that was fun. Wasn't that fun? That was fun. Do us a favor, will you? Subscribe. Share the Scott and Allie Not for Air podcast. Touch our buttons. We know you want to.